Costing. Hi guys, good evening everyone. Meanwhile, we'll have introduction with the trainer. Surya? Surya?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, then
Yeah, hi.
Adarsh and Gopi and Raghavendra, Prasanna, Lavint and May. These are the guys.
Hi.
And hi guys, one by one, give your introduction to Surya. Surya is a very good trainer. Okay,
Mhm.
start from Adarsh. Ready?
Hi, this is Adarsh, and I'm a student at Northern Illinois University. I'm doing my MIS Masters, and prior to this, I'm from a computer science undergrad background and have 3 years of working experience, but mostly on non-technical side. But I do have some functional knowledge on BI and ERP technologies. So I worked on business development, so that's about me.
Okay. Hmm. Thank you, others.
Thank you.
Whom do we have next?
Hello. Hello. Hi, this is
Yeah.
Laveen. This is Laveen Gurnani. I've just graduated from New Jersey Institute of Technology, completing a master's in information systems. Prior to this, I've done my bachelor's in commerce, in finance and taxation, and I've done my MBA in marketing in India. And I've got my 2 years work experience into client servicing, business development, market analysis. And here, after completing my master's, I was working with a company named Skyline Solar, and I was a business analyst with them for a period of almost 6 months. But and before that, I was interning with a company named Sigma MPEX as a business analyst itself. So, but I am coming from a non-technical background, so that's it
Okay.
from my end.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hi, this is Tanmay. I
Yeah,
did my
Tanmay.
bachelor's in computer science. After that, I worked as an analyst engineer, where my job role was similar to a business analyst. I worked there for around 6 to 7 months. After that, I did my master's in information systems. During that time, I worked as a Salesforce data analyst, where I worked in Tableau, Salesforce, and Excel. So basically, I have basic knowledge of technical stuff and SQL. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's me.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Prasanna. I recently completed my master's in Texas A&M University. I have work experience in Tableau and Microsoft Power BI.
Okay. That's very nice. So you four will be doing, or do you have any more?
Hi, this is Gopi Sai Palutla. I recently graduated from my master's in electrical engineering. I'm from non-technical background, so I have no experience because I just graduated and came United States for my master's. So looking forward for the MSBI. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Do we have anyone else on the line?
Hello, hi. This is Raghav. Yeah, I just completed my master's from Wilmington from information assurance, and I did my master's in computer science, and I have a little bit knowledge of SQL and SSIS. I'm a fresher.
Okay. Thanks, Raghav.
Hello.
Okay. Okay. So anyone else apart from you six, or Do we have in total 6 people?
I guess we are 6.
Yeah, can you, if you can read out the names, that would be great, I guess. If somebody left, they can say about them.
Okay, okay. So I think I heard from Adarsh, Levin, then was it Gopi? Adarsh,
Yeah,
Levin, Gopi. Yeah, Raghav. I think I'm missing out 2 names.
Tanmay.
Tanmay, yeah. Tanmay.
Prasanna, I guess. One more.
Prasanna. Yeah, so 6, yeah, okay. Yeah. So let's get started, guys. So my name is Surya. I have been working in IT for the past 7 years now, and I work across technologies in the data warehouse domain. So I'm specialized in data warehouse using the Microsoft BI stack. So I generally work across msbi implementation projects. I've been working with clients across Europe, America, and Australia. And yeah, so have some exposure to Tableau, Power BI, and mainly working on SSIS, SSAs, SSRs, and SQL Server. So in this training, we're going to start. This is primarily intended for so we'll do it in a way that, yeah, I see all of you are freshers. So apart from a couple, I think many have not worked on SQL Server before. So all of you have a profile wherein you guys are just starting off. So I would suggest we would go in a way that we start with SQL Server. Okay, so that is a building block for us. Yeah, so I'll just share my screen and we'll plan it out how we want it. Let me know once you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, begin your screen.
Cool. So we'll start with SQL Server. Okay, so we would understand in our session, so what is the SQL Server, why do we need it, starting from there, the architecture of it. Architecture, I mean not in the detailed architecture, how it would happen, but yeah, what is the objective of it, and at the end of the training for SQL Server, we would all be able to comfortably write SQL queries. Having said that, it's not being like the advanced level and all, but it's mainly about understanding the concepts and to be in a good moderate, to have a good moderate understanding. All of you have 1 to 2 years experience, so we should be able to justify and be able to work like at least 3-year experienced person, how they generally do. That would also help you. I believe you guys will be appearing for interviews in the coming time, so being interview ready, to be able to take up new assignments at work. So all these things would help. So we'll start with SQL Server. Inside SQL Server, we'll have different concepts, different types of queries, indexes, joins. Yeah. So I think, do you have detailed course content already with you? Anyone?
No, I guess.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we'll cover the topics. So first we'll do SQL Server and then we'll move on to msbi. So msbi is actually made up of 3 things: SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. Okay, so SSIS stands for SQL Server Integration Services, SSA stands for SQL Server Analysis Services, and SSRS is Reporting Services. So these are the 3 things which combine and form the msbi stack. Okay. So when you go out in the job market, so you'll see when you search for openings on the net, you can see there are a lot of profiles which are having requirement for SSIS only, or sometimes you'll see SSIS plus SSAS. So various different profiles would have different requirements, but mostly SQL would be common because that's the basic. Okay. So you'll come across openings like this. And some places you would see like good to know along with it Power BI or good to have Tableau with it. So there are various combinations which can work out. So I would definitely help you on that. So my understanding, as per my understanding, what I would do is start from scratch, help you guys set up the software on your system. So Microsoft trial version is there which will last for 6 months. So I'll set you all with the software, get you started on that. And then daily I would, whatever topics we cover in our session, say we have a session for 90 minutes, so whatever topics we cover, I would expect all of you to at least give it a try after the session on your own. So you have the recording and everything. So even if you try it for say half an hour every day after the session, you would be comfortable with what we did. And in the next session, you would be able to ask your doubts. So that will help you. So you don't need to do much, just practice what we did. I think that should be good. So apart from this, so these are all related to a data warehouse. So in parallel, so when we do MSBI or when we do anything on SSIS, AS, these are primarily working on some data warehouse of a client. Okay. So I'll also explain you the data warehouse concepts, the data warehouse fundamentals. So basically in real time, where do we fit in? Why do we need all these things? So someone from a non-technical background to someone from a technical background, this understanding is very much needed. You know, why MSBI or why are we doing it? Why does the company invest in these things? So that I think it will be more interesting for you to understand what we are doing, and that would make sense. Otherwise, it's just something we don't know why we actually have to do it and we do it. So it should not be like that. So any one of you, can you tell me why? So what is a data warehouse, or just a basic, I don't want a definition, a basic understanding. Why, what is a data warehouse, or why these tools are required?
I think these are required for generally when you take a company or any industry, they just need to analyze what's going on with them. So using these three tools, first thing they know, they integrate the whole data. Like for example, there is a company and it has a lot of franchise. So one person cannot know what's going on in everything. So they collect the data from different places, and I think like using MSBI, they integrate it. Then they after doing the integration of the data, that collected data is separated, and then that is made it into reporting like SSRS, which is like reported, and at the end of the day, for example, there is a product which is available at every place, and they can know how is the sale going on the product at different places. So I think it is very helpful for everyone to know what's going on in the like it's so easy and so reliable using this thing. We can know what's going on with the product.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So
Thank you.
like you said, so what happens is typically say, let's take an example, say like you said, it can be any company in any industry. So say we have a Walmart. Okay, so Walmart is selling across different cities in US and possibly in other countries maybe. So what happens is every store has its own sales. So when you go to the store, you pick up things, and then you go to the billing counter. The person at the counter or the automated machine, you scan your products, you make your bill and pay and come out. So entire day there are a lot of sales happening, right? But a business, so Walmart has a business analyst team. So this business analyst report to a CEO maybe. So the CEO wants the entire picture. The CEO is not bothered, say what happens in Walmart, New York alone. Or the CEO is not only thinking about Chicago. The CEO is bothered about the entire organization at a whole level. Okay, so he would just look at the total sum. Say he would think a total figure of 1 billion maybe. Okay, so he after that 1 billion he is at a higher level, you know, entire country level he is seeing the data. So this reporting services or this SSAS, SSIS is not the one, but say SSAS or SSRS, when we have a SSAS cube. So in SSAS we actually build cube. So when I log into the system, I should be able to see at a high level, okay, in total how much should be made, and then if I want to zoom in, right? So I tell you that this is, say we have made 1 million. Now I would be interested to know, okay, how this 1 million came up, which are the regions which contributed. So then you can zoom into the next level. So you go as state wise. Now when you want to focus on a particular state, you can zoom in into, say, different regions inside the state, or different cities or territory zones, whatever we call it. So these are the kind of flexibilities which we want. And then as a business owner or as a business analyst, you would like to identify which area maybe did not do well, yeah, and what could be done to improve the sales. So these kind of statistics business analysts can draw out of the reporting system, and they can take business decisions based on what you present. So if you see in some store the sales are very good, then you would like to see what is going on, what is the best part of it, so that you continue doing that, so you can maintain the sales. Some places you need to see what could have been done better, so that next year the sales do not hamper. So there are a lot of things which are required. So this kind of decisions the business analyst would take, but that is not something we do out of the, that is not our role, because we will focus on the technology side. So what we would do is, in general, when you study MSBI or any of these technical tools, so SSIS is exactly similar to Informatica. So there are a lot of other ETL tools in the market. Okay, so you can might as well do Informatica, you can do. So once you know this tool, you can pick up any other ETL tool. Okay, so by ETL we mean is extract, transform, load. So this is not related to MSBI alone, it's a concept. So there are many ETL tools in the market. SSIS is one of them, and the best feature of MS Microsoft Stack is that if you just install SQL Server, you get all these 3 products free with it. So that's the main USP, and that's why many small scale industries are moving to Microsoft Path, because they don't have to buy the additional licenses, or they don't have such overheads. That's why you would see in US most of the firms, they're slowly moving into it, and any firm, big or small, would definitely have some Microsoft component in it. Okay, so that's why it's quite popular these days. Yeah. So coming back to that, so this basically, these are, we only provide with the technical input, and we provide you with the, we provide the business analyst with the platform to work on, basically. So we ourselves would not be involved in decision making or thinking, okay, the sales are low, high. We are not bothered about that. We as a technical profile would interact with the business users, would understand what they need, and accordingly use the tool to provide them with those kind of data. So I'll just give you an example. Say the business analyst tells us that can you give me a, I want data, I want to see data in a way that I want to see all the geographical regions our business is located in. I want to see the day-wise sales of the geographical, of each geographical region. And based on that, I want to identify which is the best selling store and which is the lowest performing store. So this is the way you would get a requirement. So what you need to do is you need to see the data which is provided to you, or the source system data from where you are actually getting the data. You would go there, zoom in on how the data is currently coming, and what you can do in the tool to load the data in a way that this analyst can see the data they want to. So that is how our knowledge of SSIS or SSAS would help us to help this business analyst achieve what he wants. Okay, so since we have just started off, I think this much of the understanding would help you, and once you are familiar with the tool, you would yourself be able to understand how you can cater to it. So any questions guys so far?
A small question.
Yeah.
You said that you're working on this platform from a long time, right?
Yeah.
what do you think is because like these days it's a normal question, don't mind for the question, but it was a big confusion between Salesforce and MSBI where both are of different platforms. One is like both are different
Yeah.
kind of tools, but these days everything is going on cloud where like it is when you take Salesforce, it's like cloud, based on cloud. And even like this is a platform where it's a reporting tool where people, as you said, all kinds of large scale, small scale industries use. So what do you think? Is there any like this would really have a great scope in future, or what? A small doubt.
Yeah. So look, it's I would say even yeah, we are going on cloud and also if you see for Microsoft, they are using Azure. Yeah. So Azure is the cloud version of it. But when you even if you go to the cloud and you load your data, but you need to load the data to the cloud using some ETL.
Yes.
Even cloud is only the storage basically. So wherein you're not physically storing the data, you are basically hosting it on a cloud.
Cloud.
So even on the cloud, you have to load the data from some source systems. So even if the Walmart guy is scanning the data somewhere, you have to take it through your ETL to the cloud, or you have to build your SSIS cubes, which will host the data. So previously the data was being hosted in local systems. Now even if you build a cube in SSIS, to which the business analyst would use or connect, but that has to be hosted somewhere to this home. Then we host it as the cloud. But the concept still remains the same. So still you have to run a SQL query
Yeah.
to get the data. So these basics, these are the basics. So if you, even if you are on cloud, you need to build your report, which is RS systems. Okay. So these things will be still the same. But only thing is, previously the report was being built on a physical database. Now it can be on a cloud. So your database would be hosted on the cloud. And when you, so this what we do at home in our course or in these offices nowadays is primarily on premise. So tomorrow when you move to the cloud, maybe the way you connect would be different, or maybe the way you write some queries might change the syntax, but the logic behind it or the understanding would still remain the same.
Yeah.
So that
Yep.
is in terms of micro SSIS or SSAS, those things. But again, cloud Salesforce, when you say it's a different thing,
Yeah.
it's more Salesforce is more on the Siebel and Salesforce, those are all ERP systems. So those have a different line of, they have a different scope. So Salesforce and my MSBI, they don't compare with each other.
Yeah,
So one is,
we can compare on the same scale. I agree with that. That's why I said you. Sorry for the question.
no, that's fine. So these are different technologies basically. So
Yeah.
you need Salesforce and a company would need a Salesforce and MSBI both. So both fit in at different level. It's not that I have MSBI, so I don't need Salesforce. So both are at a very different, serving a very different purpose.
Okay.
It's like you have a car and you also have a rental home. So both have different.
Okay.
We need a home. We also need a car. So it's not that if I have a home, I don't need a car, right? So both would serve a different purpose. ERPs are generally used to maintain. Salesforce primarily maintains employees' data. Portal where you can log in and you can maintain your employee records, everything. And MSBI what would do is take the data from Salesforce and provide it for analytics. So on Salesforce you cannot do analytics directly, or in Salesforce data what is entered. So Salesforce is handling all the employee details. So from Salesforce Microsoft would connect, pull the data, and you would then convert the data in a format which would be meaningful. So in Salesforce, you only enter first name, last name like that. But in Microsoft, I can make a complete name out of it. Or I can attach the age with it. Or associate different groups together. So both have different concepts completely. So what you can do today is maybe you're doing MSBA now. So you start with MSBA. Basically what you do is SQL Server and these ETL tools and all. So SQL would always be required. Even if you go to Salesforce or anything, SQL understanding would be definitely needed. So that would always help you. And tomorrow when you have some good exposure to Microsoft and you see, no, this is not what I want to do, and something new comes up, I'm sure this knowledge will help you to pick up new tools faster. And going down the line, you would be also able to understand what is selling more or what is the hot technology in my area of work, and you can pick up the new thing. So people who started with SSIS are nowadays doing talent. A lot of people have moved to big data. Like you have the roles and also there are a lot of options which you can choose going down the line or based on the scenario where you live or where you work. Even at your workplace, you can get a better opportunity. So those things do happen, and I would suggest be open and yeah, be ready to take up new things.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a great answer.
So guys, any other questions or any other expectations you have out of this? So what is the expectation you have, which is not, which we could not understand, or anything you would like to bring up?
I guess kindly ask each and everyone if any questions is there with Surya. Interact with him very closely.
One question.
Yeah.
Is there any certification we can do for MSBI? I mean, any?
Yeah, there are a couple of certifications. So there is not one. So there are like I think 5 certifications are there.
Okay.
So
Can you name few?
So they are basically numbers. Like it's called. I think it is one of them is 770-457. So it's like implementing a data warehouse. It's called. And then there is a one query tuning and optimization. So that is mainly SQL queries and how you tune your SQL queries, how you optimize SQL queries. Then it's building your data warehouse. So across all this, I think they in total 5 or 6. I can send you the
All these are Microsoft based?
Yeah. These are all conducted by Microsoft, and to be able to clear them, you have to know SQL Server, SSIS, data warehouse in depth. So that you can take it up. So I would say don't immediately go to this certification. So those are not very important as of now. But what you can do is once you start working somewhere, you would have a good working experience. That is when the real exposure comes. So once you have completed your training and also you are good to be on your own, you would definitely start working somewhere. And then what you learned, you can start using your learning at your workplace. And you also see real-time challenges and scenarios. And that is when I think you can start preparing for the courses, and yeah, you would see that what all you already know and what are the things you need to improve on, and then you can face your certification. So all 5 you cannot do at one go, and it requires a lot of studying. So there are a lot of theoretical concepts you have to study. So we primarily work on running the tool and various tips and tricks in the tool, various features in the tool. But when you go for a certification, in certain certifications they go at a very in-depth level of the tool or the architecture, and also that is something you'll pick up with time, right? So,
Got it.
and the jobs and all, they don't actually check that, okay, this guy doesn't have a certificate, so let me not hire him. So that's actually not the case. So
Okay.
that there you have some time. And it's not also like, if you have certifications, they'll not ask you questions, or they'll not take an interview and just ask you to join. It would not be like that. So I think what you can do is best plan your own certifications in the due course of time, once you're having good grip on the tool.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I'll send you, so once we start our courses, I'll just send them to you, so you can keep that in mind. And generally these certifications with each SQL version, they enhance the certification or they change the certification. So If you have certified in one of them, again you need to go and upgrade yourself. So like SQL Server primarily has versions. So when I started, it was like SQL Server 2008. Then we had SQL Server 2012 after a couple of years. We had 14, we have 16. The 16 beta version is going on. So they keep upgrading the versions with new changes. So what we would do is we'll work on SQL Server 2012. Okay. So that is a very stable and established version. So most of the firms use SQL Server 2012. Yeah, so you all would have your own system. So I think all of you can install it, and we'll practice with the AdventureWorks database. Yeah. So we'll start with the basics of SQL, and then I'll also explain you what is a data warehouse, what are the things you should know, and I'll also keep telling you during our course every day. Every session I would share certain, I'll just tell you, okay, please make a note of it. This is an interview question, or you can be asked this kind of interview questions. So I would just so request you to keep noting them down. So later when you prepared for an interview, you have an interview next day or coming up, you can just go through them. I think a lot of questions would match, and then at the end I can give you a small case study or give you some scenarios to work on, and then you can evaluate yourself, right? And I
Hi,
will
Surya.
also, yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, can you give me a brief introduction about SSRS? And is there any way I can relate Microsoft Power BI to SSRS?
Mm, yeah, your name?
No?
Hello? Tanmay, okay. So Tanmay, yeah. So Microsoft Power BI and SSRS. So SSRS is generally more static. It's when you build your reports on SSRS, the end user doesn't have any scope to change it. So say if you make SSRS report with all the cities, so you make a report with sales for if every city, and you give a filter for choosing the year. So the user can only choose say 2010, 11, 12, whatever year he chooses, and sales for each city. So if I tell you to make a report like this, you'll give me a report like that. You'll make a report and tell me, hey look, this is your report. Let me know if you have anything else. So the user keeps using the report what you make, and he doesn't have much flexibility to change anything in the report. It's static. Again, if he needs something else, say along with the region, he wants the highest, the best performing salesperson maybe for each region, or he wants to know the manager. For that again he has to come back to the developer of the SSRS report and ask them, can you add it? And he is dependent. But in a Power BI, what happens is you make the report, you make the model and give them. After that, you have the flexibility to drag and drop anything you want. So you don't have to go back to the developer always. The end user having the flexibility to choose whatever he wants. He can drag drop anything. He can remove the geography completely. So he would only want the model from you, which would be a relational model wherein all the different tables are joined to each other, and they can work on it. And also the main difference between Power BI and SSRS is Power BI is primarily a visualization tool. Okay, so in visualization tool, what happens is we build a lot of interactive visuals like a bar graph, a chart, pie chart, or nowadays you have those what do you call it, bar and whisker plots. So by visual only you can see a trending arrow, a graph, so upward curve or a downward curve. Just by seeing the visualization you can understand, okay, whether visualization colors and all what we use. With that anyone can understand what is the trend. If a line is going up from January to December, you can understand, okay, their sales have increased. So you get those things just by the visualization. In SSRS, we don't have such fancy visualizations. In SSRS, you generally have more of detailed reports, which are not so user friendly, I would say.
Okay, we can able to create dashboards in SSRS?
SSRS dashboards are, yeah, you can create You cannot create in a dashboard. What happens is you can club multiple reports. So say you have 6 reports. So all 6 together can form a dashboard in Power BI, and you can publish it on the Power BI or something. But in SSRS you cannot club multiple reports to form a dashboard. You have to make individual reports which can be used by the business user. But that is not so interactive like a dashboard, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay. So any other questions, or are we good to? So basically, I think we all are clear what we want to do, and so we start with SQL Server, we complete MSBI, and then we would have some case studies, or by that time, I think, so when we would have completed all these 4 modules, I think all of you would have good amount of questions. So you would have also, I would expect that, apart from the classes, what we do, you also study different there are a lot of contents available online, so I can share a lot of content with you. I will share a lot of links and all YouTube videos and all you can, which can help you keep occupied and brush up what we are studying. So the more you study, you'll get more questions from me, and I would request all of you to utilize the time we have for the classes. So outside the class, you can read through a lot of blogs or read through a lot of online materials, and you can next day you can share the question, hey Surya, I was seeing this thing, could you tell me why we use it or how it happens? So I think there are a lot of things which, so even if say Tanmay comes up with a question, it would help the other people also to learn, right? So not only Tanmay, but it will help me and all of the other people who are on the class. All of us can learn from it. So I think that is the way I want that we have more interactions. It should not be like one-way communication that I just go through one after another and you guys just observe it. So that would not help you actually. So what I would suggest is we'll be more of a discussion mode. So I'll walk you through the tool. I'll show you how you use different components in the tool, how we plug them in, how they're used, which one is a more preferred way to use than which is a not standard way of using, the drawbacks, merits, demerits, everything we'll discuss. And then what you can do is research more on it. Maybe the same day you do not get much time. So whenever you, over the weekend or sometime when you get some time, I would say explore more into it, go in depth, bring out those questions, which would benefit you. If I clear your confusion, I'm sure maybe a couple of others would also have the same doubt. So everyone would be benefited from it, right? So don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't think, this is a stupid question, let me not ask it. Be free to ask any questions, and I think that should be the key. So everyone is new, and it may happen some question I feel is, I don't know it, so I just feel to ask it. Don't hesitate to ask that. So not only me, but say you ask a question, others in the class can also help you understand, explain that to you. So that should be the interaction we have. And yeah, guys, so what would be the preferred time for you? So is it like in the morning, would it be good, or for you in the evening only? How would you prefer that?
Evenings would be good.
Sorry?
Evenings would be good.
So all of you are on EST?
Yes.
I'm on Central, but I can follow EST times.
Okay. So for me in India, I would prefer like 7 a.m. in the morning. So would you be able to understand what is 7 a.m. India time, and would that work for all of you?
Yes.
Good for me.
So everyone
Okay.
okay, right? 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. 8:30 p.m. EST.
Got it.
So how often, how often in a week do we have these classes?
Daily will be there, and the same link you need to join every day.
Okay, sounds good.
Bookmark your this link, and join every day the same link. If any changes are there, we will send you the new link. Okay.
Yeah,
But I will
sounds
not
good.
be able
And
to, Sunday mornings I would generally not be available, but yeah. So I think we
yeah, Sunday
can
is not
take,
required, Surya. Only Monday to
yeah.
Saturday. And hi guys, my email ID I kept here. Send everyone to test mail to there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we start from
Yeah, session is over, Surya.
yeah, yeah. So if anybody does not have any other questions, so what we can do is yeah, we can wrap up and yeah, I'll send you the links to download the software maybe, and from Monday morning. So when I say Monday morning, it's India time Monday morning. So from Monday morning we can start with our SQL Server.
Okay. That's
All right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. Yeah.
So anything you have question?
Any questions? Yeah, anything you would just want to raise, so we can use the time. That's not a problem.
I mean, there's a small question. I mean, what would be the duration of this course, I would say?
Yeah, so actually I would not say, it's time bound thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's typically we start with SQL. So
Mm-hmm.
based on your level of comfortness, I would, once I start, I generally see how you guys
Mm-hmm.
are actually scaling up to. So I understand in the beginning we'll go a little slow. So I
Exactly.
think everyone should be able to pick it up. And automatically I would, generally my experience, I have seen that once
Mm-hmm.
you're familiar with the basics and also the next topics when we go, it goes a little faster. So I typically do not have any time bound like this. The daily sessions would be like I think close to 1.5 hours every day,
Okay.
and on average, if you see, it typically takes
Mm-hmm.
35 to 40 hours to complete the modules, 40 plus hours. So it depends actually on how we progress. But I don't
Okay.
have any hard and fast that okay,
Mm-hmm.
only this much time I can. So feel free on that, and yeah,
Okay.
that should not be a problem.
Okay.
I mean, I have one small question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Uh, Once the course is done and we are on job, so you
Mhm.
provide on-job support?
Not exactly always like I can always answer your questions and all. I
Yeah,
would be
that
able
we
to
can
support,
discuss
but
to management here. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
anyone, any other questions? Anything anyone would like to add which we missed or something like that? So guys, feel free. It's your state, so you can.
No, I'm pretty much clear for at the moment.
Okay, okay. So whenever you have any questions or anything, just share it across to Shiva, and he'll be more than happy to guide you on. So I think
Okay.
yeah, it looks good. So I think we can. We are in a good position to start from Monday, and let's hope for the best.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. Let's start from Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Bye.